to log out and log back in again. Are you there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you now.
All right, so we are back, and I hate to steal from Mike and Mike, but better than ever after a 2 week hiatus. Tim went
Been
on
2 weeks.
vacation. Was it 2 weeks? Or it's been a month, hasn't it?
It's been a month. Yeah.
It has been a month. Tim went on vacation. He went to what was it? Bermuda,
The triangle.
the
So I
Triangle.
I I can hear Tim fine. I can hear Melvin.
Well, can
You're
you hear me?
really muted.
Hmm. I am muted. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see. No. Hmm.
Do you want me to try to log back out and come back in?
No. Can you hear her, Tim?
Yes,
Can you hear me in the microphone?
I hear you both.
Yeah. I believe it's just you because I can hear you. Can you hear Tim?
Yeah, I can hear Tim. I can barely hear you.
Okay. I'm not sure why you can barely hear me, but you can hear me, correct? Jeremy can hear. Um,
Well, if
Kobe.
you ask me a question, I won't be able to hear you.
Now, if he asks a
What?
question, I can just repeat it. So
That sounds good. Okay.
Okay. All right. So, Kobe, can you hear me? Jeremy, can you hear me?
Jeremy Roncaglione.
Tim, ask Kobe and Jeremy if they can hear me. Okay, Kobe can hear me. Good deal. Kobe, I'm a little bit upset. You know, normally you're up here on Tuesdays when I'm up here. I was a little heartbroken.
I didn't see
Um,
Kobe today. He didn't come in this morning.
yeah, Kobe didn't come in this morning, but Elizabeth, can you see the comments?
Can I see what?
The comments.
Um, no, I can't.
Okay, it may be where you're on your phone. So, but we are back after a month. Tim vacation hiatus
It's
to
just
wherever it is. I think Tim went somewhere where he didn't want to tell anybody because I've kind of
we went
pitched around
to
some ideas.
we went to Lake Marion in South Carolina. I'd never been there before. It's kind of neat. It was like it's the biggest lake in South Carolina. It's almost like a small ocean. It's a good vacation. We're about an hour and a half from the beach actually, and a lot of nothing to do around us. The first gas station we went in, there was a big board of all their big catches from the lake. No shortage of like 50 and 60 pound catfish and like an 800-pound alligator. I'm like,
Mm.
no, we're not swimming in the lake. No, sorry guys, that's done. Nope, not going to happen. And we did, but I mean, an 800-pound alligator. Can you imagine?
I think I'm good.
I
They're
don't
Um,
think I want to imagine.
now we
I
did.
I have eaten gator, and there's everybody says when everything it tastes like chicken, but
Yeah,
honestly, gator
Gator's
really
good
tastes
actually.
like chicken.
We made the kids watch Lake Placid the first night that we were there, just to kind of hammer it home that they're dangerous.
Well,
Both of
gators
the
are
scenes.
dangerous. Let me share this real quick to my Facebook page. Hold on here. Let me see. By the way, the third person that you hear, that you see, and that you hear, the lady in the middle there, her name is Elizabeth, and she is from. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's Baltimore, Maryland, right?
More like Frederick.
Frederick.
Frederick,
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I've been there before. Yeah.
Yeah. Give me 1 second here. Are you a Ravens fan, by the way?
Uh, no, I'm a Raiders fan.
Oh,
Ooh.
the Raider.
How's that possible? I don't understand people that are from a certain area not being fans of the teams that they're growing up around. Like
I mean, I'm a fan of the Redskins and the Ravens, but I mean, I just am a Raiders fan. That's my favorite team.
the team that I can't understand anyone actually being a fan of is 49ers. It makes no sense to me whatsoever.
I'm leaving. That I'm leaving. By the way, that hurts my feelings. No, the Raiders. Wow, the Raiders.
Are we like Los Angeles Raiders, or are we Oakland Raiders? Or
1976, John Madden Raiders.
Oh,
Oakland.
Oakland Raiders.
which by the way, if I'm not mistaken, I think he still is the percentage wise the winningest coach.
Madden is.
Yeah, in NFL history. So he wasn't with the Raiders very long. What, 6, 7 seasons, something like that, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know, guys, if you can't hear me, because But Tim didn't pay his internet bill, so what it is,
I did.
his Wi-Fi is real bad, so I may drop from time to time. I'll be right back if I drop, and Tim is on his hotspot on his phone, so that's why Tim looks a little fuzzy.
See, on my side, Melvin looks a little fuzzy, and I look really clear. So I don't know.
Yeah, but see, I can hear Tim, so he might be on the hotspot, but I can hear him at
Oh.
least.
Well, what's crazy is we now know that your hotspot is a better internet connection than Suddenlink.
Actually, I'm back on Suddenlink now.
Oh, he's back on Suddenlink now.
But now,
Okay.
on like Friday nights when I do when I do the live comic show on Friday nights, a lot of times I do double back and switch back to the hotspot because it is a better connection
Oh wow.
from time to time.
Oh wow. Well, we'll call you Miss Elizabeth, like the was she would you consider her a wrestler, Miss Elizabeth? Well, I guess a wrestler, Miss Elizabeth. She bakes these awesome cakes, and let me put some of these up here for you. So I'm a little bit different today because I got here and I've been using Tim's shock mount, and I get here and the shock mount was here, but the clamp to clamp the shock mount down on the table was missing. So Tim goes away for a couple of weeks and he comes back and everything's in disarray, and the shock mount clamp is gone, and I had to make some adjustments, but we figured it out. I'm still gonna hide this microphone stand, by the way. That way you can't lose it.
To be fair, I don't have to go away for any length of time for things to be in a total disarray around here. I could blink my eye and it's a mess. So that's, to be fair, it's always a mess. That's part of the appeal, I think.
But so Elizabeth is joining us today. We're gonna put some of her cakes up on the screen, which are awesome, by the way. And I'm gonna
Thank
plug
you.
her Instagram, and actually it's on the screen right there. You can follow her on Instagram. She is from Baltimore, Maryland. She is a Star Wars fan, not a Star Trek fan. Did I get that backwards?
No, that's correct. I mean, I don't watch Star Trek at all, so I can't really comment on it as if I like. I mean, I've never tried to watch it, so I guess it's not fair. I mean,
It's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna find this. I'm gonna find my favorite cake that you've posted so far. Hold on, let me find it.
I think I just keep scrolling back and forth through her cakes. I can't figure out which one I like the best. Of the ones that we have pictures of, like I'm stuck on the Scooby Doo cake and the Homer Simpson cake. I mean, I love the flaming donuts.
With this one here,
I love the Homer Simpson cake, but I love that cake that he just showed because Hans Gruber. I mean, I can't help it.
yeah, that right there is my favorite cake that you've shown there. The
And when you cut that cake open, it was the German flag.
wow,
Nice.
wow,
And it was my birthday cake. I made my own birthday cake last year, but there were only 4 of us, and it was enough cake to feed like 20 people. It was,
Now, how
know.
big are those cakes?
well, that one was a 3-layer 9-inch round, so that's enough to feed like 15 people.
It's not a cake.
and
But
you
I
cut
needed it for aesthetic reasons. It had to be pretty.
and you cut it open, and there's a German cake inside of it.
Yeah, so each layer was one of the colors for the flag.
Oh wow,
Nice.
that's really impressive. Now this one right here, who is that? Just a woman that you designed,
It's
or
Red
is it-
Sonja.
Oh, Tim's throwing his hands up at me in the air, like how could you not know that?
It's red. Who else would that be?
I don't know everything. It could be, I don't know, someone
Is
out
this just
getting
like a random woman with chainmail armor? A
Yeah, I mean,
bikini?
she's wearing
come on.
chainmail. I mean, Red Sonja is the only person I know wears a chainmail bikini, but like, I'm sure there are other people, but
Well, there are people that around here anyway that do that. I wouldn't call it cosplay. Did you ever see the people when I lived in South Charleston? There were these people that would get together and they would dress up in medieval times.
Society of Creative Anachronisms.
See, you know who they are. You were probably I didn't know you back then, so you were probably one of those people that I laughed at as I was trying to go home.
I never joined it. I had several friends that were part of it. I never got an invite. I never really had time to do it, but I could definitely relate to what they're trying to do. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They, now that I think about it, it was exactly like from the movie Role Models, and
Yes.
and they were out there just reenacting medieval fight scenes on the tennis courts at the local middle school.
I know what we did was reenact our Dungeons and Dragons characters in live action battles. So, but we weren't part of an actual real group or anything. We just kind of did it ourselves.
I'm gonna.
I think that's just called dressing up. But I mean,
Oh well,
I'm gonna say that all of you were single back then. That this is probably before your son was born, probably.
probably yes, much before he was born. Yeah, much longer.
Yeah, this was the.
Look at that. Are you serious, Clark?
Right. Jeremy, I'm not going to butcher your last name, but well, let me give it a crack here.
Roncaglione.
See, you ruined it for me,
Sorry,
Jeremy
It took me-
Roncaglione.
I've known Jeremy for a few years, and it's took me forever to say his name correctly. I've called him everything other than the correct pronunciation of it.
I'm going to say at some point in his family's history, there was the guy that had the glove that took it off and smacked somebody. That is an awesome last name. I'm not making fun of it by any means. I'm saying it's awesome. That's that last name that really it is just it sounds like old world wealthy.
It
Is
sounds
what
like he should be related to the Godfather.
well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, it sounds more like that.
like Godfatherish.
Yeah, when you said take off a glove and slap somebody, I thought maybe you were going to say something else. But
Oh no. I'm not teasing you by any means. He said Italian mafia. That's right, Italian mafia. Tim had to step away to attend to a customer, so me and you keep rolling. But no, I like the cake right there. You serious, Clark? Let me pull another one up here.
I made that for a really good friend of mine. That's his favorite Christmas movie. So
Well, the shitter's full. Yeah. The obviously this is Deadpool.
Deadpool dressed as Batman.
What? That's really nice. Let me scoot my chair over here. I'm kind of leaning over into the microphone. I'm used to one like being up higher, but this one will have to do. No, I you say Deadpool dressed up as Batman. That's really nice. I like that a lot. I'll have to come back to that one and show Tim. Let me see what this comment is. Yeah, it is nice. It is nice.
I'm sure you're saying wonderful thing. I still cannot hear you. So,
It might be. I'm not sure why. My guess is because his internet connection.
I thought Tim
So-
was supposed to be interpreting for me, so I know what's being said.
Well, he had to attend to a customer, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, he'll be back here shortly. But it doesn't help that my voice is naturally deep, I sometimes startle people because I have to speak louder, and it comes out just booming, and I frighten people. So
Well, it's funny. I could hear you fine earlier, and then all of a sudden you just.
hey,
muted.
the kind of you should be able to see comments on your. Do you have a comment?
I do.
box?
I can't. I can see. I can't see the comments.
Okay, so where'd the comment go? Kobe has a comment for you. Can you see that?
I do see it. I I don't see why not. I mean,
Well, the issue that she has right now, because bear in mind, guys, she's in Baltimore, Maryland, so she's trying to figure out a way to be able to ship her cakes outside of where she is, to other cities, other states, etc. So, if any of you guys have any ideas of how she could possibly do that, that would be great for her. And you
yeah.
can,
I mean, I'm. It depends on where you live. I mean, I could possibly meet somebody halfway, or I mean, yeah, they can't be shipped though. I think that's, you know,
yeah.
I can hear you now. Fine.
Oh, you can hear me now, fine.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Yeah, Jeremy. I need Tim to pronounce his name correctly. He had to go. Boss just rolled in, but I don't even. I feel bad because I feel that I should know this. The Darth Raven. What is that?
What is it?
Yes. What character is that? I'm assuming Darth.
It's a Star Wars character. I get it's probably I don't know which one exactly. I'm not real familiar with that one, but I'm sure it's something I could do. I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah. Hold on. Kobe had a comment here.
It's mostly things like photographs that are tough, that are tricky.
Yeah.
Like, don't give me a picture of your cat and say you want your cat on a cake. I probably can't swing that.
That'll be a little tough. A little
Yeah,
tough.
it might be. It might look like your cat, sort of, but it probably wouldn't be. Like, it's not like, I can't put a picture of your child on a cake unless it's a comic book drawing of them or a drawing of them.
Right. Golden Girls that I like. I like the Golden Girls. One interesting fact about the Golden Girls is that even though Estelle Getty played she played grandma.
She's the youngest.
Yes, that is correct. She is the youngest. Yes, she is the youngest. And of course, Elsa from Frozen.
Oh yeah, I like
My
that cake.
my friends always laugh at me because when the first movie had come out, you watch it with your kids. So anything that you watch with your kids, especially a movie, anything that you watch with the kids, you've watched it 100 times a piece. So you're gonna know all the characters and all the songs, especially the songs. So when a grown man knows the words to the songs from Frozen, people just look at you like, you're kind of crazy. But that also lets me know too that they don't have kids, or at least kids that age, to where they would have to watch it uh, to know it. That is what that's just a flat out unicorn, right?
Yeah, it was for a 6th birthday.
Okay. And of course, Dragon's Lair.
That wasn't for anybody in particular. I just made it one night.
And then that's from a movie, isn't it?
It's from Despicable Me.
Gotcha.
It was for my niece Olivia.
Ah. So what we'll do here, give me a second here. Tim kind of stepped away, as you can see his vacant chair there. He's got to help somebody. But I saw this, and I couldn't figure out if that was, well, first I thought it was Al Bundy, and then Tim was like, no, Al Bundy didn't have a beard.
It's Kenny Stabler.
The Raiders, that's right.
It's the snake.
Jake the Snake, the Raiders.
No, yeah, Jake the Snake. That his nickname was just the Snake. It was
The
not
Snake.
even wasn't even the Snake. It was Snake.
Oh, a real
Kenny Snake.
Raiders fan.
Yep.
Kobe wants to know, he says, if you don't mind him asking, how did you get into making cakes like that?
So what happened was I always liked to bake, and then I was sick for a while. For 3 years, I needed a liver transplant, and I received one. And so I started to try to get back into baking and do some baking. And then the pandemic hit. And my brother's birthday was in June, and I had to make him a birthday cake. So I made him this Charlie. I had this idea for this Charlie Brown cake, and it was just Charlie Brown with the little "good grief" saying, right, which seemed really perfect at that time, and that for everything that was going on. And I made it, and it was It was a really cute cake, and it wasn't like that one, but it was pretty special. And then I just started making them all the time, and they were sort of like a catharsis and kind of maybe, I guess you could say, kind of a healing process. I'd just been through quite a bit, and so I think that's how it all came about. And then people started asking for them, and then I just started making them. But I'll make one on a Friday night if I'm bored. That's a fact. And then my neighbors get to eat cake, just on a random day because there's always cake at my house.
So if your neighbors gain an insane amount of weight, or
It's my fault.
right,
It's
right,
definitely
right.
my fault. They are my official taste testers. My very official taste tester is 5. Her name is Sophia. She loves cookies and comes over and tries things, and she'll just knock on the door and I'll give her cookies. Yeah.
Do you have a lot of kids around where you live?
I have 2 on that side, Sophia and her sister Avery, and then on the other side there's a little boy that lives there. But I don't have, and then I have my niece who's 11. So I don't have any children, and I don't have a lot of children, but I have plenty of friends who have kids, so I can always give stuff away. I give a
Yeah.
lot of stuff away.
But Tim's stomping back through with his with his
Announce my presence with authority.
squeaky shoes. He's walking in like he's
Excuse me,
the
Harper.
regional manager. Wondering what are those kids over there in the corner doing? Why aren't they working? He's back in
Uh-oh.
black.
Jeremy's got to go back to work, doesn't he?
Yeah, he had to go back to work. Now we were talking about the cakes here, and Kobe had a couple questions. She said that she had gotten ill a couple years ago, and had you said, what was it that you said you had?
Liver transplant.
Okay,
Oh
and
wow.
and what was it? You made one for your brother, and then it just kind of just took off
Yeah,
from
we had the pandemic, and I couldn't go out and just buy him a birthday cake, and so I made him one, and then I started baking cakes all the time. I never really liked baking cakes and hadn't really baked any at all. Like, you can see them as they progressed. The piping skills got a little better, the painting skills got a little better. But that's one of my favorites, Axel Foley on a cake. You can't go wrong with that. I mean, ever.
No, not at all. This is the one I like this one right here.
That was one of my first ones, and it was for twins that are friends of mine. Their names are Matt and David. So I they have these shirts they wear on their birthdays that say Matt and Davy, and so I put them on the dresses of the girls, and
Oh,
and they like Stephen King. That's
oh.
Dennis Hopper, if you don't know.
You know what? Is
He's
he
an
one of the
Andy
Mystery
Warhol.
Oh, Andy Warhol. Okay. He kind of looks like he's wearing the when he was in the Nike commercials in the 90s. He was the referee, and he would say like "choo choo baby" and stuff like that. And then
No,
is
he's,
that is that H is
Bob
it
Hope.
it's Bob Hope.
you know what he's Tim's throwing his hands up again and well I thought it was Herbert Walker Bush. I mean, come on.
No, it's a 4th of July cake, so it's got to be
Uh,
Bob Hope.
That's part of the USO tours. Come on.
well, USO for me is is I'm an alien guy, so it's an unidentified submerged object. Yeah. So
Well,
that's what
Bob
the
Hope
USO.
was not maybe his golf balls were, but not Bob
That's right.
himself.
Somewhere around the store here, I bought them. I put them up so I wouldn't lose them. I've got some old slides of Bob Hope on the USO tour back in World War II.
Nice.
Bob was the best.
It's I've bought them and I put them so like I said, and I lose stuff constantly, so they're here somewhere. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dallas.
So, do you draw or sketch outside of cakes as well, or
No, I don't.
really? You definitely could.
Well, yeah, there's a process to what I do that, you know, it's a process how I make that picture happen on that cake.
She's trying to say that she's a mutant and she uses her powers.
Yeah, that's
She's trying to
exactly what I
tiptoe
do.
around it.
I've blown up a lot of cakes, you know. I've
Yeah, she's tiptoeing around it, tiptoeing around it. So I'm gonna ask you guys this because the theme of today is 1991. Tim and I were talking about, if Back to the Future, if Marty McFly were here today, 30 years ago would be 1991. So I'm gonna ask you one at a time. Tim, 1991, what were you doing, Tim? What was, before you answer that, I thought about this when I first thought about it a couple weeks ago, and I got to think. I said 1991. Tim was probably on his going through his Andrew Dice Clay phase. He probably had the hair
Hickory
slick.
dickory dock.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good phase.
Yeah, he was going through his Andrew
Dice
Dice
was
Clay
great.
phase, and that's what he was doing. He probably had the oversized sports jacket.
Big
And-
black leather jacket around me.
Yeah, and
Like big DA going back.
he probably did that where he constantly just shrugged his shoulders a little bit and no, but really, what were you doing in 91?
I was aware of Dice Clay. I like Dice Clay. I didn't impersonate Dice Clay too much though. I was actually about 91. I think I just started working for Frito Lay, and I was working about 70 hours a week. Did at I was 19, yeah. So yeah, I just started working for Frito Lay. I started a real job and threw away my youthful experiences for that. So
You say you started a real job and threw away your youthful experience.
yeah,
I'm gonna put some movies up. I made a movie clip of movies from 1991. Elizabeth, what were you doing in 91?
I was in ninth grade.
She said it all depressing. She's like, I was in ninth grade.
Those were
Wasn't-
good times. Those were ninth grade. This, the good old days. But the
Really?
jacket, the sports jacket that you just mentioned, that was really popular at that time. The starter jacket, and everybody had the Charlotte Hornets one because it was like this teal and purple color.
That's
Those
right.
were really
right.
popular at that time. I didn't
Well,
have.
well,
but-
well, the Hornets, they hadn't been around. I don't know if that was their inaugural. How you say that? Inaugural. We'll just leave it at that. Their first year. We'll just say that, since I can't pronounce words today. They may have been their first year in 91. I'm not sure, but you are correct though. Everybody had the Charlotte Hornet.
starter jacket and the
Yeah.
Charlotte Hornet one, especially girls because the color scheme.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Those are worth a lot of money now. Those jackets.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say in 91. I was in junior high. I was like 7th grade, I believe.
God, y'all make me feel so old.
But you are getting up there, buddy.
Man,
you
I'd already graduated high school. I'd been out of high school for 2 years in 91.
Tim
Well,
was
90, in 91? Yeah, 2 years. Yeah.
what was the car? What you said was a 76 Buick Skylark? Is that what you said?
Had a 72 Buick Skylark, 4-door sedan in baby shit yellow with brown interior. That's my
That sounds
$300
kinda
car.
awesome, though.
It was not awesome, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that 91. That was a lot of fun because I'd been in the sports. I'd say I was, of course, Chicago. The Bulls were going big that time. That was the year of their first championship. Let me do this right here. How you going? I'm not even gonna mess with that. Did you see that?
I did. Shameless self promotion there. You can't fault that.
Yeah. a friend of ours, he just opened himself up a store, and he plugged this store on our podcast.
Yeah.
It's okay. We
It's called guerrilla marketing. Okay? I mean, there are books
Yeah,
written about it.
exactly.
we'll go. I'll take something from here and I'll slap a Nitro Antique Mall sticker on his front door on my way home. Is what we'll do. It'll be like the WCW and WWF Monday Night Wars.
Uh,
We'll have it the collectible wars.
that'd be fun. We can figure something
Yeah.
out on that.
We
Nobody
can
wants to be like me, Chris.
we can Tim can get himself a tank and just roll it down through the streets of Bell
That'd be
and pull up to his front door, and we can get the old DX chop and say suck it. is what we can do. Let me find something else. No, 91 was fun. Actually, I got some. I don't want to share a screen here. I got some music too. I think for me probably is it Don't Come Home.
Let's talk some trash now.
Here's talking some trash.
You're not gonna
I
take
think
that already, Melvin. I mean,
I
he's,
think
he's killing you now.
blood in, blood
Blood
out.
in, blood out. Oh.
91 for me was big for music. I got some music here too. Here we go. And that was about the time that the 80s and the 70s were kind of disappearing. And the hair bands were on their way out.
Yeah, it's starting to get
The-
some grunge in.
Yeah. The old like R&B acts. Like if you look at R&B music in the 80s, they still had like that kind of late 70s look to it.
Hmm.
And the outfits kind of looked the same. They kind of, but when the 90s rolled around, and let's just take for example when Bobby Brown went solo, he left New Edition, got kicked out, however you want to take it. And Bobby Brown started the black outfits, were the black coats and the pants and the shoes and the headsets and all that stuff. Grunge was popping up, and the hair bands were on their way out. Now you said before, you were what, a Pearl Jam guy? Is that what you said?
I like Pearl Jam, I like grunge stuff, more of the rock stuff. I didn't listen to much of the R&B or the hip hop stuff at all. Just kind of somehow I missed it all.
Well, it's
Yeah.
okay. I mean, you can.
I can hear stuff from that era now, and I'm like, that sounds cool. Where'd that come from? And Jess is like, dumbass. You know, I was 8 when it came out, and I know it. Why don't you know it?
Well, hey,
It just
you know,
goes over my head.
ladies, you know, they may love some Bobby Brown, but there's still room for White Snake. Okay,
Hey, never fault white. Snake.
There's always room for white.
that's right. There's always room for White Snake. They had great power ballads.
You know, I gotta say, one of my favorite movies, and I can watch this movie over and over and over again, is Rockstar.
That's a
You
great
know,
movie.
Yeah.
I just watched it the other day.
With
Especially when
with
he makes the transition from
It's
hair metal
hilarious.
to grunge in the very end of it.
you talking about with Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen. I know what it is. I've never seen it. Again with the hands in the air. I mean,
That's my
it's
move
just
for them today.
it's just. I'm gonna be honest with you. As far as Mark Wahlberg went, I didn't get into Mark Wahlberg the actor until I saw, what movie was it that I'd seen him in? It was, well, there was Four Brothers, and then there was what's the movie with George Clooney where they were over in Iraq?
Oh.
Three King? Is he in
Yeah.
this?
Yes.
He's in Three Kings,
Yes.
right?
Yes, Three Kings. That's what it was. I was really impressed by him in Three Three Kings. Excuse me. And from
Mark
that point forward,
Wahlberg is the actor of our generation.
well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm more of a Matt Damon kind of guy. So, you know,
Matt
he's not-
Damon is Wahlberg's bitch.
oh,
I don't know about that. I don't know. I'm not so sure about that one.
there's
nothing against Mark Wahlberg, but
there's nothing about Mark Wahlberg. First of all, Mark Wahlberg has never done anything that can compare to the Bourne movies.
wait, he was in The Departed. You're
Well,
he
I'll
was in
give you
The
that.
Departed.
I'll get. Well, he was in it, but that was more.
He
well,
played
every-
the best. He had the last. He's like the best character in that. He's fantastic.
where he had, I will say, in that movie he had one of the best endings, and in the movie where he opens the door, he's standing,
Yeah.
he's got his shoes covered in little scrubs or
As you
whatever.
ruin the movie for everybody who
Well,
hasn't
hey.
It wasn't-
seen it.
Well,
I'm
he
kidding.
could
I'm
have been given someone a bath.
Yeah.
The Departed.
Oh yeah, that's I like that one.
But that's got everybody in. It's got Jack Nicholson, Leonardo DiCaprio. It's got Alec Baldwin. It's Mark Wahlberg, and there was another big name. Martin Sheen. Martin Sheen was in
Martin
it.
Sheen.
Yeah, it's loaded with talent.
I mean, the big hit. That's cinematic greatness.
The big hit.
Yeah. Mark Wahlberg.
I forgot about that.
Was he in the Italian Job?
Mark
No.
Wahlberg? Yeah, I think
Was
so.
he?
Yeah.
Maybe.
That was him and what,
Yes.
Tyrese?
That's where they drove those. That's where they
In the
drove Mini
remake, you
Cooper.
mean? He wasn't
Yeah.
in the original.
Yeah.
Not the original. No.
No.
Kobe says that Fast 9 drops Friday. Also, there will be an exclusive Jurassic World trailer shown only on Friday at Fast 9 showings. Here's the thing with me and the Fast and the Furious movies. Well, first of all, as far as Jurassic World goes, I was never a big Jurassic Park person. The first one came out, what, 93, somewhere around there, something like that.
Somewhere like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was never a Jurassic Park person. The new one though, the newer ones with Chris Pratt and Ron Howard's daughter, those are okay. They're not. I always just found, now I appreciate it now, but I always found as a kid Jeff Goldblum to be a little creepy for me.
He is the Fly.
Yeah, he is the Fly, but I appreciate it now.
Life will find a way.
Yeah, exactly.
It's I could as a kid. Okay, take for example Batman Returns. I can handle Christopher Walken creepy, all right, because he was more like a villain. He was more vilified. Christopher Walken's creepy is that he's creepy, but it's like in a bad kind of way. Jeff Goldblum is creepy, like he'll boil you in some water and then sprinkle some salt and barbecue sauce and then feed you to the people out in a public park.
Melvin, do you know what Fairy Tale Theater is? Do you remember that, or have you ever heard of that?
Say that again.
It's called Fairy Tale Theater.
Fairy Tale Theater. Fairy Tale Theater. It doesn't ring a bell.
Shelley Duvall had these little movies she made with really famous people, and they were fairy tale stories that we know. And Jeff Goldblum was in The Three Little Pigs, and he played the wolf, and he had like this fur coat and a top hat. It was hilarious. It was creepy, but good.
Tim's writing this down because he's
Yeah,
never heard of that.
I like you.
There's so many of them. Like Mick Jagger was in one. Edward James Olmos was in the same one that Mick Jagger was, and he was in The Nightingale. I mean, they had everybody in them. Barbara Hershey, Malcolm McDowell. Like everybody was in them.
Shelley Duvall, she was the perfect olive oil, live action olive oil.
Of course.
Yeah, it couldn't get in because nowadays, you're not going to have an actress. She's just naturally skinny. Shelley Duvall is. I don't think you'd have an actress today that would actually be able to pull that off because they would have to fast and lose weight and all that other stuff, and people will get onto them. But Shelley Duvall is just naturally skinny like that. She was
CG
perfect.
her this right now.
Yeah, you definitely have to do some CG. Puff, aka Lee Christopher, who doesn't even use his real name, by the way. How you going to go online and have fun and poke fun and you use aliases?
I mean, his name's not Lee Christopher, really?
No, that sounds like the knockoff brand from Lee's Buddy Lee. Lee Christopher jeans. They've got cargo pockets. That's what it sounds like.
And they're stonewashed.
That's right. Hey, let me tell you something. Stonewashed jeans in the late 80s, the early 90s were a big thing. I had some too. I can imagine Tim. Tim probably had he had the straight-legged stonewashed jeans. They were probably tucked into your high top sneakers.
I didn't tuck them in really so much. No.
Yeah.
I did try the. I remember growing up the fad hits where you wore like the khakis and you'd pinch and roll them up.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
the
fold
peg
them
leg.
over and
Yeah,
then roll
yeah,
them.
Yes, the peg legs. Yeah.
yeah.
Let me pull
But,
something else up.
and I did have a rat tail growing up. So
Well, the rat tail was the thing. I didn't have one,
Me either.
I even
but
had the jams when those were popular. Sort
oh,
of-
the Jams pants. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hold on a second. I thought I had something else here.
really tell my age now.
I thought I had something else here. No, I guess I did. We are in the middle of the day, so we were going to do some 1991 trivia, but we haven't got anybody to drop their email yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some trivia with both of you guys.
Uh-oh.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan. Hey guys, don't forget about let me find this up here again here. About Elizabeth, you can go to her Instagram at Bake Hard by
Bimbra.
Bimbra. Bimbra.
Perfect.
What was the little soccer clothes and was it Umbrio?
Umbro.
Umbro. Yeah.
on those.
Yeah, that was like the soccer. I don't know why that was big here because back in the 90s we knew more about AIDS than what we did soccer.
No, but soccer became popular at that time, like for young kids to play it. You know, you had softball or baseball, but then soccer all of a sudden hit the scene. And everybody was playing it as a kid. Because I remember I played soccer.
Well, here's the thing, and you were at that point. Were you in Maryland at that point?
Yeah, I grew up in Maryland. Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you about us here in this great state of not Western,
West
not
Virginia.
not Western Virginia, not you know. Anytime you go out of state, what's the first thing people ask you? You tell them that you're from West Virginia. Are you?
Oh,
I've
West
been to Roanoke. I'm like, yeah, that's not the
Yeah.
same thing.
Or they've seen the movie Wrong Turn and will never go to West Virginia. Even though
Yes.
that wasn't filmed in West Virginia.
That is correct.
Yes.
That probably film wise that I can think of the coolest thing that I've noticed recently or period about us like being in a film was it Die Hard 4 that had Justin Long in it,
Yes.
Yes.
and they go to I believe it's actual real town, but they go somewhere here where supposedly like the main gas line switch or something was here, and they were going to blow it up. So Bruce Willis comes here and he fights the lady and gets his butt kicked, and then throws her down an elevator shaft, and he
And
might
then
even
throws a
do it-
car, and then throws a car on top of her.
That is correct.
Don't forget.
Throws a car on top of her. So I was good with Bruce Willis, sort of with the fourth one, but when the fifth one came along, a good day to keep
It was
making.
such a disappointment.
Yeah, and they were over in Russia and his son. Yeah, that was bad.
I missed that one somehow. Shoot.
That was bad. But yeah, that was probably. But anyway, the thing about West Virginia is this: unlike, especially like some of the surrounding states, like Maryland and Virginia, and maybe Tennessee. I would say maybe Tennessee. When there was a lady one time, I don't remember where I was out of state, and a lady one time had asked me. We were at a Golden Corral, and a lady overheard me talking to a friend of mine, and she was like, "Oh my God, I can guess where you're from by your accent." And I'm like, "Okay," and she goes, "Where are you from?" And I said, "West Virginia." She said, "Don't you mean by God?" I said, "Actually, no, I don't. I don't mean by God." But so she had asked me what was the difference of again, I think I was in North Carolina. She asked me what was the difference of Carolina to here. So again, we were in a Golden Corral. Everybody, it's a buffet, whatever, and everybody, it was packed. So I looked at her and I said, "Well," I said, "Turn around." I said, "I want to show you something." She said, "Okay." I said, "You see all these people in here?" She said, "Yeah." And I said, "You see white people, you see black people, you see Hispanic people, and you see a couple other people." or I could be like, um, don't mess with the Zohan. Michael Buffer was like, and that other brown khaki or whatever that color is. But that's my favorite part in the whole movie. He's like khaki or whatever that color is. But I said we don't have that here. We don't have that there. And she said, what do you mean? And I said, well, we primarily are just black and white people. There are Asian people, but they just work in the restaurants, in their respective restaurants, and they go home. There are Hispanic people, but they work at their respective restaurants and they go home. We don't have communities like Virginia does. We don't have communities like I believe Maryland, may have a community or two of people that aren't white or black. We don't have that here. So that is the biggest difference with us, probably any other state.
I never thought about it like that at all. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, me either.
But really, I mean, honestly, I mean,
Now that you mention it, I can go back and think about it real quick. You're right. I mean, I don't see that a whole lot around here, really.
no. The only time you see people that aren't white or black here is they're working in a authentic restaurant. It's a Chinese buffet or it's a Mexican restaurant. I mean, that's it.
Or they're shopping at your flea markets.
Yeah, I,
That's
mean,
right.
I get them coming. I get different groups coming to the store from time to time, but not very often, really. I mean, there's some. I think they're Japanese that come in from the Toyota plant. I guess they have a basis there.
Yeah,
And they always shop. They always shop for Fire King. Actually, they don't look for anything else.
yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean,
I don't see the communities of like that at all.
no. We don't have that. So that's the difference between here and everywhere else. And so when you do go out of state for the first time as a young person, it's kind of a shock. You're like, whoa, like when
There are other people that exist.
absolutely, yeah. As silly as that sounds, I mean, you just you don't know how to react. Like when I went to Virginia, I was a teenager, maybe 13, 14 years old. Never really been out of the state, and my cousins lived in an apartment complex, and there was this Hispanic people everywhere, and it just kind of tripped me out because I wasn't used to that, and they were always so nice to me, and I would go out and we'd play football, and I met people from Belize and all these other places, and it was such a big thing for me to be a part of that because we don't have that here.
Mhm.
There's just me and you, white and black. Tim and Melvin. That's it. I said, actually, you know what? I slighted Puff or Lee Christopher because he is our buddy that's commenting on here. He is Hispanic. He doesn't speak Spanish, but he's Hispanic. So I can't even take him to the Mexican restaurants because and do the episode of Seinfeld where Mr. Seinfeld George's dad goes into Elaine brings him into the nail shop because she thinks the Vietnamese people were talking trash about her, and he spoke Vietnamese because he was in the Vietnam War, and he calls him out, and it was like a lost long love or whatever. So you can't even use Puff for that. You can't use Puff to take into the Mexican restaurant to see if they're talking some smack. I know they hate me because I'm not big on Spanish, and so when I go to a Mexican restaurant, it's either 99% of the time it's going to be a chicken quesadilla because that's the only thing that I can pronounce. That's the only thing that I know what it is, and but I'll play it off well. I'll look at
all the Mexican restaurants have numbers beside their food, so you don't have to actually pronounce it.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is that I have to know what I'm eating. So a chicken quesadilla is really the only thing that I know. So I'll play it off well, and I'll sit there for a good 10 minutes and act like I know what I'm looking at. And then I'll say, first, what I'll do is I'll say, hey, what is this right here? And I'll ask one or two, what is this questions? And then to make it feel like I really know what I'm doing. I want a chicken quesadilla, but deep down inside, I want a cheeseburger. But Tim's throwing his arms up.
So you should get a taco then, because it's got hamburger in it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I could get the taco, but I vow from this point forward, I'm going to do this for everybody, for you, Tim, and everybody. I'm going to start looking at Mexican dishes, and I'm going to shock the crap out of somebody one day when I go to a Mexican restaurant, and they're going to look at me when I walk in. Here come him and his chicken quesadilla ass, and I'm going to shock them. I'm going to get something else.
I took Spanish in high school and failed. And I took Spanish in state college because I had to take it and passed barely. So my Spanish is really, really, really bad. I can, get by with no hablas and, roll my R a little bit, and that's about it. But I still order different food at the Mexican restaurants.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I can't speak any Spanish, but everybody thinks I'm Spanish. When I lived in New York, all the delivery guys who were Spanish would just talk to me in Spanish, just automatically assume.
It makes you feel uncomfortable, didn't it?
No, it didn't. I wasn't uncomfortable. I would just be like, I don't speak Spanish. And then sometimes I would throw out we speak English in this country, which that never went over well.
Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. Unless you're carrying pepper spray or switchblade or something.
Now, Jake and I went to it was a little hole. We were in Lexington here a few years ago. Went to this little hole-in-the-wall restaurant. The whole restaurant probably the size of my upstairs that we're on right now, just one side of it. It was a little Ethiopian cuisine place. We couldn't pronounce anything on the menu. I'm not sure what I ate, but it was really good.
It was good though.
I just pointed at stuff, and they threw it in the plate, and I ate it. It was pretty good.
There's a Indian spot in Barbersville that I used to get food from sometimes. I used to go out with this girl, she loved it, and I got it. And it was spicy, but it was hot at the same time. And it, I don't have hair, so my head naturally just rolls down with sweat. And it was hot going in, and sometimes it was double coming out. But it was good as can be. Good as can be. I'm going to use you guys for some trivia.
Okay, cool.
Sounds good.
We couldn't get anybody today, but I'm going to use you guys for some trivia. So let me take a drink of my Pepsi here. Hold on.
Is that Crystal Pepsi?
It's possible.
Oh.
They re-released that a couple years ago, didn't they?
I've got a cousin that's, I don't want to say he's famous in the art world, but he's well known in certain circles in the pop art world. So one of the companies he does art for always sends him to New York Comic Con, basically on their tab, and that was last year he went one year when they were re-releasing the Crystal Pepsi. That was his main thing to get. When I get there, I'm getting this because he's a big Back to the Future fan. And it tied back into some sort of anniversary from that. But he was just, I gotta get this now. And he was all about it.
The Crystal Pepsi was big. I remember that. And there was something else. Did Coke have a response to that?
They didn't have a clear drink,
No.
No, Coke did have a clear drink, didn't they?
Did they? Sprite?
I think they did. I can't remember what it was called though.
Well, Coke does have Sprite.
It's not supposed to be clear.
They had New Coke.
Yeah. Sprite was the drink when you were kids that your parents got for you, tricking you, thinking that you were getting caffeine. Like, yeah. Mom, can I have a Coke? You can have a Sprite.
We don't have that problem. My dad worked at Coke when I was growing up. Matter of fact, he finally retired from Coke, so we always had an ample supply of Coca-Cola beverages. Whether it's if they brought something new out, then we had all kinds of, like when they brought out Mellow Yellow, we had Mellow Yellow for months on end.
Not to veer off track. There was you remember the Mellow Yellow Hummer Summer?
No.
Okay. That was in the 90s, and Mellow Yellow it was called the Mellow. Let me say this quick. Let me slow it down. The Mellow Yellow Hummer Summer, and it's not what you think there, Tim. It's
giving away like a Humvee.
Yeah, yes, yeah. But there was a girl, but it was the actual like the military grade Hummer. There was a family in my neighborhood that won.
This sounds vaguely familiar, actually.
Huh?
Was it black Humvee?
I don't know. I remember the color of it. but yeah, it was called the Mellow Yellow Hummer Summer,
Yeah.
and there was a family in my neighborhood that won, and they had the Hummer, and they didn't have it very long because what happened was, is that I imagine one, you probably have to pay taxes on it, even though that you won it, you probably have to pay taxes,
Mhm.
and two, I'm sure the insurance on that bad boy was a house payment a month.
I'm sure.
So
I'd love to
they
have one.
they ended up selling it. I'm not sure how much they sold it for, but they didn't have it very long after they won it. But yeah, they actually won it. Yeah. So and there was another couple that just a couple streets down. They back in the '90s, there were WQBE country radio station had a contest. They won the Dwight Yoakam Cadillac that they had uh, on there. So we had a Hummer and we had a Dwight Yoakam Cadillac.
I used to have a Dr. Pepper bicycle.
Well, that counts for something. That's I actually I'm not even joking with this. I had a bike that, if I'm not mistaken, it had a RC logo.
Cool.
What was the thing that goes over the chain so your pants
Chain
don't
guard?
get dirty? Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. God, that was difficult. A chain guard. So anyway, we're gonna we're going to do some 91 trivia here. Okay, you guys ready?
Ready.
Let's go.
Okay, let's do it. So in 1991, Terminator 2 was the #1 movie at the box office, followed by Robin Hood. I almost said Men in Tights. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. What was the #3 movie of 1991? Terminator 2 was #1. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves was #2. Brian Adams is always #1 in our hearts.
Huh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tricky.
Terminator 2 was #1. All right.
Can I phone
So
a friend?
I'm gonna. So
If
here,
we're-
I'm gonna pull up some movies that you guys. can
Tim,
choose
I'm gonna phone you. You tell me what you think
Oh,
it
we're
is.
screwed.
Okay, so here are your options here. There was Cape Fear, JFK, Hot Shots, Beauty and the Beast, The Naked Gun 2.5, The Addams Family, Silence of the Lambs, and Hook.
Okay.
Care to venture a guess, Tim?
I'm going to take what is Silence of the Lambs?
I'm going to say that is incorrect.
Ah,
Elizabeth, care to venture a guess? You got Cape Fear, JFK, Hook, Hot Shots, Beauty and the Beast, Naked Gun 2.5, and The Addams Family.
Hmm.
Now, before you answer this, really think about what
I-
in the early '90s had exploded as far as films go. Not just the film itself, but just exploded.
I think Melvin's actually given this away a little previously when he was running through the movies a little earlier. I saw one of these movies I saw pop up on there, and I didn't realize it till just now.
Yeah, I don't know. That's tricky because
Tim, you went one more. She didn't-
I mean, I maybe Hot Shots. If I had to guess, maybe.
Kobe says Silence of the Lambs. He said no. He has seen a few.
I can't stop.
I guess my guess is hot. My guess is Hot Shots.
No. Oh God!
It's
If you
Beauty and the
remember-
Beast.
Yes.
Really?
If you
I'm not
remember,
surprised. Well, it's Disney.
yeah. Well, in the early '90s, matter of fact, I'm gonna say '89, '90s when the Little Mermaid came out. So at that point, when the Little
Oh,
Mermaid
that's
came out,
true. Yeah.
Disney was rolling.
Well, it should have
Oh.
been Silence of the Lambs because
It should have been.
it absolutely should have
I
been.
agree with Elizabeth there completely.
Because that won Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actor. It won like every
Nice.
award you can think of.
Hey, and speaking of Silence of the Lambs, Jodie Foster's character is from West Virginia.
That's correct.
And I guess on the TV show they've completely butchered her her hometown. Wherever she says she's from Kanawha County.
Yeah, we say Kanawha, or I actually say Kanawha. I actually put a little W in there a little bit
In there.
instead of Kanawha. Man, them some bitches. People often, anywhere you go, there's different dialects and things like that. So I don't have too much left in mind, just for the fact that over the years, auditioning for voiceovers and things like that. So I actually had to work on everything from the way that I say things, tones and dialects and enunciations and all that stuff. So it's kind of driven out of my uh, accent a little bit, but there's still certain things that I say, like, where y'all going, and
Y'all can't get rid of y'all, can you?
y'all, where y'all going, and it's where y'all gone,
Not where.
not where, but where y'all. If someone from another country came over here, why are they always talking in the past tense? Or
It's like my coach in junior high. Take your gym shorts home and get them washed.
yeah,
Washed.
in the washing machine. Here we go. So in this movie, you know what this movie is.
Yep.
Come on,
I
Elizabeth.
know the
knows.
answer.
Elizabeth knows, but Tim, you don't know the movie. There was two big movies that Macaulay Culkin was in the early '90s. Obviously, there was
Home Alone.
and then there was this one.
Yeah, I missed
This-
this one. Missed this one somehow.
The title of the movie is a
song.
It's a famous song by the Temptations. Doom 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 doom. My girl, Tim. My girl.
Oh, well. Is that the name of the show? I missed that
It was
somehow.
it was the name of the movie. Let me see what the comment says. Kobe says great movie. Tim is terrible. Do you know what Thomas J dies from, Elizabeth?
Anaphylactic shock from
Yes.
a bee sting.
From multiple bees.
Multiple bee
Really?
stings. Yeah.
Yes, he died from bees. And my favorite line in the movie is when he knocks on the door to see the little girl, and she just realized that she had her first period, and she comes to the door, and what she says, she says, my dad says you can't come back for 5 to 7 days.
Yeah. It's really, it's something like that. I can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everybody was crying about the movie. It was so sad. It was just like one of those movies, like saddest movie ever.
Yeah.
It wasn't
I'm
Brian.
glad I missed
Wasn't
it.
Brian's song sad, but it was pretty sad.
Yeah.
I will cry.
Tim, okay.
Oh
In
God.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, what is the name of Morgan Freeman's character in
Oh
Robin
my
Hood,
God.
Prince of Thieves?
Is it God?
What is his name? Oh my God.
I mean, doesn't he play God like more than any other actor besides George Burns?
Yeah.
Either that or the president of the United States. It's either one or the other.
Yeah. Poor Gerard Butler,
I can't remember his name in that movie.
You know what's even crazier is that he already looks old, and this was before he was Morgan, quote unquote, Morgan Freeman. I mean, he'd done was it Lean on Me or Stand by Me? Lean on Me,
Yeah.
Stand by Me.
Lean on Me.
Lean
Yeah.
on Me.
Yeah, he didn't do
Stand by Me
Me.
was the Stephen King.
Yes,
short
with
story.
Jerry O'Connell and those guys.
River Phoenix.
Yeah, may he rest in peace.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yes,
Yeah. I don't remember his name in this movie at all.
I cannot remember it. It's like
Azim.
Is he-
that's that's it.
Okay, here we go. In Point Break, Johnny Utah, Keanu Reeves, did what was he famous for before becoming an FBI agent? If you remember in the movie, Patrick Swayze, my mom loved Patrick Swayze. You realize who he was because of this. Tim doesn't know. He's looking at me.
He doesn't know.
Do you know what he was?
He's a football player, college football player.
Yes, he was a college football player at Ohio State. Come on,
I
Tim.
told you, 91, I was working in obscene number of hours. I missed a lot of stuff. Really.
Tim was out there. He was out
Likely story.
there. He was slanging Coke products to the
Oh,
Potato chips, sir. Potato chips.
potato chips. I'm sorry, Lay's. He was the Lay's guy.
I was lazy guy.
Tim was the Lay's man, not the ladies' man, but the Lay's man.
Exactly. I was.
He
not
was-
a very. I was not a lazy man whatsoever.
He was no Tim Meadows.
I actually. Let's see, I was 19. I just started dating a woman when I was 19. That was a few years older than me. So we dated for a while.
Tim was dating Stifler's mom.
I was taken. So.
You were taken. Yeah.
Another
Tim,
story
here we
another
go.
day.
Mariah Carey and Garth Brooks were number one and number two Billboard albums of 1991. Who finished at number three?
Oh God.
Wilson Phillips, the Black Crows, or Vanilla Ice?
Vanilla Ice. That's my guess.
Black Crows.
Tim is correct with the Black Crows.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
Tim
just
is
guessed that one completely.
Tim is correct with the Black Crows. We got a couple more for you because we're about out of time.
Lord.
Billboard year-end Hot 100 singles. What was number one? Was it "Gonna Make You Sweat" by CNC Music Factory? You know, with CNC Music Factory, I honestly thought he was Ice-T when they first came out, because he looked like him, and he did. I mean, he looked like him, man? He sounded like him. Did he not?
He thought
Yeah.
he thought he was the original gangster. Is
Yeah,
that what you're
yeah.
saying?
His name was Freedom. That was his name. Baby, Baby, Amy Grant. I Want to Sex You Up, Color Me Bad, and they were pretty bad. Everything I Do It for You, Brian Adams, or Signs by Tesla.
Brian Adams.
Tim, what you got?
I'm gonna go with her. I'm gonna agree with her with the Brian Adams.
That is correct. Brian Adams was rolling.
Robin Hood. That was the song.
Yes, he was rolling.
Was the song.
Yes, he was. Just a couple quick things here before we take off here. Of course, there's the old MTV logo, which there's like MTV 8, and it's all television shows.
It's back when they actually showed videos.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Toward the end
Super
of the
Bowl.
video era. Yeah.
Super Bowl, the 90-91 Super Bowl, the New York Giants, Jeff
The Hoss?
Hostetler. From WVU, Jeff Hostetler, the Super Bowl winning quarterback, beat the Buffalo Bills. The 91 was Michael Jordan's first NBA Finals. They beat the Los Angeles Lakers 4-1. I was showing her this earlier. The NHL, the Penguins was on their first of, it was either the first of back-to-back or was a back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals.
Their name is, I looked it up. It's the North Stars. Is that what it was?
Yes,
Something like that.
was it Dallas North Stars? I believe.
Something like, yeah. I looked it up because I was like, it was really bothering me.
And then the World Series, you have the Atlanta Braves there, and I believe it was the Twins. Yeah, it was the Twins. Yeah, and then WrestleMania 7. Thank God that I know Roman numerals. I don't know them past
Past 10.
past 20. I don't know.
Oh,
the
okay.
past 20.
Well,
I'm good up until 20. You know, two X's are 20. We do know that. But WrestleMania 7, Hulk Hogan, and at this time, Sergeant Slaughter had turned. And if you remember, if you are a wrestling fan, he turned and went with the Soviets.
I don't remember this.
Shame on you. How are you? You're supposed to be a real American like Hulk Hogan, and you don't know that Sergeant Slaughter turned bad. You don't know that.
Sergeant, I'm doing an event September 25th in Vienna, and Sergeant Slaughter will be there. I think so. Maybe I can ask you about his Russian days.
His chin was just massive. Just look at it. It looks like it's fake. I mean, he I don't know why him and Jay Leno didn't have a contest of whose chin was the biggest.
Maybe, Tim, maybe you should ask him that when you meet him. Like,
About his chin?
you know. Yeah. I mean, just bring it up casually in
I
conversation.
mean, he's got to be what, 80 now?
But yeah,
I'm
but
sure I
his
can
chin
outrun him
should
if I
still
have
be the
to.
same, right? I mean,
if not longer because of gravity.
right.
I have a customer that comes to the store, Adam Ash, that does cosplay,
Mhm.
and he does a spot on Sergeant Slaughter. I'll be right back.
Hold on, Tim's got to attend to a customer here, but so we're getting ready to take off here in a minute. But yeah, the 91, the 90s, like we were talking about earlier, you know, grunge bands took over, and you know what's really weird is to go back in the early 90s and look at Celine Dion and look how youthful and
I never paid any attention to any of, I mean, I have an older brother, so I liked the Rolling Stones. I mean, I did like Ice Cube and stuff, you know, and that kind of stuff. It was
Hey,
Mariah Carey or
Well, Mariah Carey was big for me because I
Just
I I
didn't
like I like
change
Mariah
anything for
Carey.
me.
I like Mariah Carey up until she got all hibbity hoppity and got Thug Daddy. I don't do Thug Daddy Mariah. I do I do early '90s Mariah, power ballad Mariah, all that glitter and all that. I don't do that. I don't shake it off with her, and I don't. And it's weird that she's probably 20 plus years older than Nick Cannon, and yeah, this is weird, weird.
Well, whatever works, I guess. But
Hey,
it didn't work. Yeah, but it didn't work. So I guess that.
well, he's on his seventh baby now.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, he's had four babies in 1 year. Two of them were twins, but
Good for him.
yeah, good old Nick Cannon. But yeah, Nirvana and Tupac, Ice Cube was rolling, and
And I liked Tupac. I did like Tupac. I'm a big, hip hop fan. I like
yeah,
NWA.
mhm.
I
you
think
know,
that's a Raiders thing, though, maybe.
I believe so. Yeah, the silver and
It's
black,
not,
and
though. I mean, I actually do like them, but I mean,
well,
they
it's okay.
made that popular.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah, they absolutely did,
I watched
absolutely.
a documentary about the Raiders once, and there was a thing about at that time their sales for apparel was like 12 times what it was like the prior year or something like that, just because of NWA.
It's amazing the power of music.
Sure.
It's amazing the power. Jay Z, when he got bigger, he had went to there was a clothing label he always made reference to. It wasn't Rockaway. This was before he was doing all that.
Yeah, right.
And whatever it was, I don't
I
remember what it
don't
was.
remember.
But whatever it was that he always made reference to, he actually went to that company and said, "Hey, because I rap about your clothing, your sales have doubled or tripled or whatever, and I feel like I deserve a portion of that money."
I
And
don't agree with that.
they were like, "Yeah, we think we're good here."
I don't agree with that. He chose to do that. They didn't ask him to do it. I don't agree with that.
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I mean,
Yeah,
that'd be like
absolutely.
that would be like just because let's say I only wore Nike all the time and like everyone started buying it in my neighborhood. That means I should get a cut. So,
Well, yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, that'd be like you calling up, Duncan Hines or some kind of
yeah.
ingredient maker.
Oh, yeah. Land O'Lakes. Hey, Land O'Lakes.
Right. Yeah.
Want a cut?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm using your butter,
Yeah.
Right, right, right. Well, hey, Tim seems to he's like I said, we're always live and his store's open, so he's got to help people. But I wanted to
Oh, I
thank you.
just want to say something before I forget to say it. So Kobe earlier mentioned the thin cake, and I thank you for that comment because that's one of my favorite cakes, and I am going to redo that eventually and make a better one because I love that's like one of my favorite movies ever made. So I love
He mentioned that you said the thing.
the thing, yeah.
Did you see, which is kind of similar to the thing, did you see where they are making another toxic Avenger movie?
No, I didn't.
Yes, they're redoing it. Yeah,
That sounds like money well spent.
I used to
That's like making. We're gonna remake Nukem High. I mean, what I'm saying.
that
I
was
mean,
that was
but it'll
like a
probably be really good. But I shouldn't say it'll probably be really good.
what was hurtful for me is that the toxic Avenger's name was Melvin, and once kids
Oh,
figured
I'm
that out,
sorry.
and it's okay. He had a movie and a cartoon,
Yeah, I
so
was gonna say, yeah.
you can't really go bad with that. A movie and
Nah.
a cartoon. So, but Tim's almost on his way over here, so we can cut out of here, and I'll let him say his his parting ways, and if you don't mind, once we end the live, you'll still be on there, so hang out for a second if you don't
Okay,
mind.
sure.
I don't know what he's having a discussion about.
I think you really should see the fairy tale theaters.
He actually wrote that down, and a matter of fact, I'm
Yeah,
gonna take note of that myself and
they're
check that.
really kind of bizarre. They're just bizarre, uh, but it's so strange to see these really famous people play these parts, especially Mick Jagger as the Emperor in the Nightingale. I mean, he should just keep to singing, but he's good
And
in that. So it's very bizarre.
and you say that that Shelley Long made
Shelley
this.
Duvall.
I'm sorry, Shelley Long.
Shelley Duvall, and she talks before it comes on. She sits, she gives a little narrative. She stands there and says, "Welcome to Fairy Tale Theater," and she like gives a whole narrative about what you're about to watch.
Didn't she? Kobe wants to know your favorite Star Wars character. I know he's not talking to me; he's talking to you.
Oh, probably Chewbacca.
Chewbacca.
I love Chewbacca.
Mine. I am a villain kind of guy.
I mean, I love Darth Vader. I have to because I'm a Raider fan, but
Sure.
I love Chewie.
Mine would have to be my favorite villain would have to be. Well, I mean, Darth Vader, obviously number one, but I like um, what was I said it was right there on top of my head. What was old dude's name in Mandalorian? Gideon,
Oh yeah,
Gideon.
Moff Gideon.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Gus.
yeah. I like him. I like him. I like Darth Maul until I actually saw the movie, and I was disappointed because they pumped him up like he was going to just kick everybody's ass.
If
And
they finish the Solo trilogy, you'd see more Darth Maul.
And what's the consensus? What's your favorite Star Wars movie? Melvin and Tim, what are your favorite Star? What's
My
the
favorite
best
Star
Star
Wars
Wars movie?
I still have to go with. I gotta go with
Empire.
Strikes Back. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
yeah,
That's
I'm with
that's my
you.
favorite vintage Star Wars movie. As far as the new crap they've been putting out,
He said
I don't
no.
like any of the new stuff.
I really like I really liked Rogue One and I really like Solo. I liked both of those ones a lot.
I would
Yeah, but
say I would agree with him on Empire, and the newer ones I would say Rogue One is as well. Solo was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't. What was the one after Rogue? What was the one after Rogue One? Because Rogue One was kind of a prequel anyway. So
I don't remember.
I liked Rogue One because I knew going into it that everyone would have to die.
mhm.
Oh, that's a good
I
reason.
mean,
That works.
you knew they had to die in order to make the movie right. They'd all have to die.
and plus with Rogue One, there really wasn't like you weren't waiting for a hero. So it's like you said, people were going to die, and it kind of it was kind of it was Star Wars, but at the same time, it could have if Star Wars wasn't the title of it, it could have
Yeah.
held its own. I feel.
When I
Oh.
saw it in the theater, at the end of it, when
Oh, Vader comes in
shows
the
up
yeah.
and just lays waste to everyone on that ship, everyone started cheering.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Vader's your
yeah.
favorite bad guy. Your good guys just died. They died to save the rebels, but Vader shows up and everyone cheers. It's kind of ironic, I guess.
Well, of course. I mean, Vader is Star Wars.
Yeah, essentially, I mean, the character is the whole Star Wars
Mm.
trilogy. It's all 9 films is all Vader's story.
Oh
And
yeah.
and I'm sure James Earl Jones had no clue going into that his voice would be this, epic thing.
Yeah.
Just give me the checks, the residual checks that he makes off of
Oh man,
that, and we're good to go. What is your favorite one?
Empire.
Empire. Okay.
Yeah, no doubt, no questions asked. That's the best one.
The Return of the Jedi is a little too. It's a little too. It was Return of the Jedi was Disney before it was literally Disney.
Yeah,
The Ewoks. Yeah, I think. When I remember seeing that one in the theater and absolutely loving it because there's so much anticipation then. I mean, you didn't have the internet giving you any kind of hyper buzz. If you paid a little bit of attention to like the Fangoria magazines and the sci-fi magazines, you'd get a little snippet of what's going to come up in it. Maybe a dozen preview shots a month out. but you didn't have all this hype that built up that you get on the internet now.
Yeah.
So it was pretty much your own imagination for 4 years, because it took 4 years from the end of one film to get to the next. So you got
Right.
4 years of anticipation building up, and by the time the scroll started on Jedi, I was ready to come on my seat, just oh my god.
Well, back then
But
too is like you said, there weren't spoilers. So one of the biggest things for me going to the theater was the previews,
The
trailer.
previews were the best part.
I
Yeah,
still love those. Yeah.
yeah, and in most cases, and a lot of times they were better than the actual movie. Just knowing,
Yeah.
but now because of the internet, I mean, it's still cool to see the trailer, but you can go on YouTube and you've already seen it, and it just kind of. But when you're in the theater and you got the big screen in front of you and you got the THX or whatever it is, the sound system, and it's just booming. I mean, it's still pretty cool.
Have you guys noticed all this Star Wars kitchen, like these kitchen accessories you can buy? So like there's
Like the waffle
like
maker with the Rebel emblem on it.
yeah, there's like a waffle maker, there's like a toaster, there's a popcorn maker that's R2D2. There's like all these
Yeah.
things, and the best one I've seen, which I'm just waiting for it to show up at like TJ Maxx or Marshalls and be like red tagged and really cheap, because Williams Sonoma came out with it, and it's made by Le Creuset, and it's a casserole dish, and it's a beautiful gray color, and the top of the casserole dish is Han Solo frozen in carbonite.
Oh,
So
wow.
like it's priceless. And when it
Wow.
came out, I was like, "Oh my god, it's the coolest thing of all time!" Right? But it was like $450 or something
that's
at
nothing.
Williams Sonoma.
That's pocket change.
I was like,
Nah,
"I'll
yeah.
just wait for that to come out at TJ Maxx."
I
Yeah.
do have the Han Solo and carbonate ice cube makers.
Oh, I have the
That's
Funko.
kind of cool.
Nice.
I
So I
I
refuse-
actually put those in my wish list because they might be clever for a cake. Might be able to finagle one of those for a cake.
All right, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we got to wrap it up because we're running out of time, and Tim's got a new guy downstairs. I'm sure he's freaking out.
He might be.
Poor fella. He came up here already a couple times, nervous and not to mess anything up. He's a nice dude. But we're gonna take off out of here. Hey, it was fun to have you on. Like I said earlier,
Thank you so much.
Hey, be sure to stick around after I close this out.
Absolutely.
Guys, don't forget. Let me plug you here.
Cover is on like 10 or 12.
Don't forget to check her out. You can see more of her cakes. If you're on Instagram, you can see her at Bake Hard by hit me with the last name
Bimbra.
Bimbra. Bake Hard at Bimbra on Instagram.
Bake Hard by Bimbra.
Bake Hard by Bimbra. I can't even read my own text that I put on there. Bake Hard by Bimbra on Instagram. Let me see what this last question is here. Kobe says, later, guys, Tim live sales Friday. It's also my birthday.
If they're in real good shape.
So I'm assuming Tim's going to have live sales. Tim is over here. Let me mute his mic there because he's making a sale. And but we will see you guys in 2 weeks. I unmuted you, Tim. Tim, real quick, you got any live sales going on this Friday?
Yes, I'm coming back to do the live sale again this Friday night at 8:30 on Third Floor Comics. I'm excited. I missed it 2 weeks in a row now, and need to get back out and do it some more.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, Friday night we got a live sale. Wednesday night we have our reply sale, which I'm going to start posting for tonight. And what else we got coming up? I don't know. Something else, I'm sure I'm forgetting about.
He'll think about it when it's time to come up, and then he's like, "Oh snap, I forgot about that." So,
I want to get back in touch with her on some cakes here. I got an idea.
well, she's gonna stick around when we end here.
Okay, cool.
All right, so we'll see you guys in 2 weeks on Tuesday. We try, as always, we try to do it around 3:00. Sometimes life happens. We are live here in his store here in the Nitro Antique Mall on the 3rd floor. So 3:00 is always the goal, but sometimes things happen that's out of control. Did not mean to rhyme there. Know what I'm saying? Okay. So anyway, we will see you guys in 2 weeks, and bye bye, and take care.